everyone, Stephanie here, coffee drinker, book lover, and reviewer of many things, and today I have a book review for you, and I'm drinking water because, I'm going to drop that, because it's summer, and it's hot. Also, can I just say, at first I thought these little straw topper things were, stupid. I was like, why do you need... But we've been getting flies in our house, every time we open a door, the flies come in, and these have been coming in handy. You just pop it over your straw, and then the flies can't get into your straw. Because one of my biggest fears is that I'm gonna go to take a sip of something, and I'm gonna suck up a fly, and yeah, no. But I can't remember where I got these. I think maybe it was at Target. I don't remember. Anyway, I thought they're cute. So I finished Nancy Drew and the Hidden Staircase. I had been reading it with my kiddo, and I just realized that there's no summary on the back of this book. It just tells you about the whole entire series. It says, for cliffhanging suspense and thrills, read Nancy Drew mystery stories. So I'm going to look that up real fast. Okay. So I will read this little back of what should be on the back of the book for you. And then, yeah. It says, after receiving a call from her good friend Helen Corning, Nancy Drew agrees to help solve a baffling mystery. Helen's Aunt Rosemary has been living with her mother at the old family mansion, and they have noticed some strange things, music, thumps, and creaking noises at night, and seen eerie shadows on the walls. Could the house be haunted? Helen's great-grandmother, Miss Flora, thinks the house has a ghost. Nancy doesn't believe in such things, but she's puzzled and very anxious about Miss Flora's frailing health. This has a 3.29 according to Goodreads. Yeah. If you're doing a Summerween thing, this might be good for a haunted house. I can't tell you what happens. Let's see. This is part of my 2026 preteen teen reading challenge. It was the 6th one on the list. And I'm excited that I got to check it off. All right. So we have title. Let me lean this way so you can look at the book. Title, The Hidden Staircase. It is a Nancy Drew Mystery Stories, Book 2. Author, Carolyn, Keene. I started this June 10th, and I finished this June 27th. I probably would have finished it faster, obviously, if I wasn't reading it to my kid. She was going between this and the Fairy Ponies and Tea Dragons. And so finally we finished the Tea Dragon series, and then we came back to Nancy Drew, and then she was like, I want to read the unicorn one. And so I finally finished it though. Let's see. 4 stars from me. It's an older book. I do have to... There's no spice in it. I do recommend these books. I think that, especially the younger generation now, they don't know how to slow down. And Nancy... I feel like the Nancy Drew books can teach you some patience, because sometimes you feel like you're reading needless information, But I feel like it is necessary because you have to know the world they're living in. They didn't have cell phones. Their flashlights weren't the same as our flashlights today. The fact that in this one, Nancy wears jeans was like, ooh. Genre. I didn't write down the genre. What is the genre for this? Middle grade mystery. I was like, I don't remember. Middle grade mystery is the genre. So there are 182 pages and 20 chapters. Also, I thought in this one, I thought it was cool because it made my kid ask a question. If I don't know if you can see that, but it uses the Roman numerals instead of numbers for the chapters. And 1, 2, 3, my kid got, and she was like, "What is IV?" So we had to have a little discussion about Roman numerals, and I was like, "This is great." I mean, she's 5, so she didn't know what they were. So my favorite character is probably her dad, because he is the father, and every time Nancy, in the beginning of the book, every time Nancy's like, "But you're in danger," and he's like, "I'm a lawyer. I'm always in danger." And so he kind of has this like air to him that I'm just like, I want to meet this guy in person. Like, I did not have a favorite quote. There are a few different parts that were quotable, and I just didn't. None of them like jumped at me. There is one part that they were dressing up in old clothes and something happened, and so they ran out, and oh, I can't tell you too much, but there's a police officer with a guy, and he's like, "Is this the ghost?" And after a few minutes of discussion, they're both the guy and the police officer are like, "What are you wearing?" But that was pretty much it. That was all right. My review. Hold on, I gotta move my phone all the way so I can put my arm on it. Did I just throw my pencil in the trash by accident? When I went to move my stuff out from in front of me, my pencil fell right into the trash can. That's talent. Talent. Okay. Man, this is gonna be a short video. There's not much I can tell you. Okay. I liked this book. I like all Nancy Drew books. I didn't write that part. I like all Nancy Drew books. Nancy Drew is full of mystery and wonder. In this one, she gets a phone. In this one, she gets a phone call from one of her friends who's a little bit older than her. So they're not like friends. I really fixated on that. I'm sorry. But it mentions it in the book later. And I was just like, past the beginning part. So she gets this phone call, and she says that her aunt's house is haunted. Then a random strange man is probably what I was trying to put, shows up at their door and walks into their house. Like, he knocked on the door. And when Hannah, the caretaker, cook, maid lady, opens the door, he just walks in. He walks into their house. Excuse me, you didn't even get greeted. Rude. And Hannah and Nancy have this moment where they um they like look at it, they're both like, he says he's there with her dad's best interest at heart. Really? He says her dad is in danger. From who? No, you don't need to know that. What? You don't need to know that? Okay. Her dad gets home. She waits anxiously. Her dad gets home. Then they have dinner. She's like, Dad, this happened. And he's like, we'll talk about it. Let's have dinner. No, you will talk to me now. I'm sorry. I keep getting. The beginning of this book was kind of ridiculous. Where was I? He convinces Nancy that he's fine and to go to her friend's house. She gets to her friend's house. It's beautiful. It's not her friend's house. Why did I put... I think I meant to say she went with her friend to the aunt's house. Anyway, beautiful and old. They go in and things happen. I can't tell you all that I wrote because I wrote down all of the things that happened. Yeah. But in true Nancy Drew fashion, she solves the case and she solves her dad's case too. She gets the captain to come in and she's like, this and this, and he's like, yes. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite parts is we get to go through the search with them. So when they get there, things start happening. I'm not going to tell you what things happen, but things start happening, and Nancy tries to solve the case. She starts by doing a search of the house, and just like a cursory search because they think someone's in the house with them. There's no one in the house with them, and the next morning, she's like, I think there's a tunnel that goes from the house to one of the outer houses, or the mansion to the outer houses, because it's an old house. So there's like a smoke house and an ice house and a shed and a outhouse, and like there's stuff circling the house. And so her and her friend Helen, they go with flashlights and start searching all of these places. And in one instant, Helen falls through the floor. And she's like, obviously she yells. And Nancy's like, oh, are you okay? And she's looking down and she's like, yeah, I can't find my flashlight. Can you hand me yours? And so she hands down her flashlight. And she's looking around. She's like, oh man, I was hoping this would, be the entrance to the tunnel that goes to the house, but it's just a hole in the ground. And I giggled at that part. And then Nancy starts thinking that maybe there's someone in the walls, because in older houses the walls had spaces, people-sized spaces. So she's like, and she starts writing notes and like showing them to Helen, and she's like, and so they make a plan that way. And then she burns them to just start a fire to make lunch, I think it was. And then they do some more investigating. there's a part where they're trying to figure out how to go up and down the stairs without making noise because they're old stairs, so of course they creak, and they figure it out. And we figure it out with them, which is really fun. It's a little tedious, I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, okay, if I step here on this step, it creaks. If I step here on this step, it creaks. If I step here, oh, okay, that one's fine. A next step. Um, and so it does get a little tedious, but it's fun to be like, oh, I'm part of the investigation. Her dad was away on business for a while, and he was supposed to come back on a certain day, but Hannah, their housekeeper, got a telegram from him saying that he was going to be late. And she was like, that's odd because he usually calls, or at least calls the office, and so the office can call us. So something's going on. And it's always nice in these books where if there's two things happening, they kind of smush together. So that you're like, oh, look at that. Both things are solved at the same time. So nice and wrapped up into a little bow. And on to the next. And I feel like it's nice. This is just a nice little, like, if you're an adult, it's a nice little, like, oh, okay, easy book to read, easy book to get through, still has some mystery, still has some, intrigue, if you will. I'm going to give you one spoiler. There is at least one secret tunnel into the house. I really enjoy these books. I do. They're so fun. And there's so many of them. That's not even all of them. And then there's like the newer ones. The like the younger kid ones, I guess. I don't know. They're thin. I don't even think I have any. But I've seen them, and they're like early readers almost. And I'm like, oh, I kind of want to grab some. But I will also say that the girls, when in one of their searches, they're like, maybe someone's been stealing stuff from the house, and that's how they 100% decide, okay, it's not a ghost, it's a person. um, because a ghost doesn't need silverware and food. Do I recommend Nancy Drew? Yes, I do. Get yourself a Nancy Drew book. You can read any of them. You don't have to read them in order. There is sometimes, oh, I know this person because of this mystery that I did, or they like nod to the next one. So in the end of this one, it says, "It's a real victory for you, Nancy," says Nancy's father proudly. The young sleuth smiled. Although she was glad it was over, she couldn't help but look forward to another mystery to solve. One soon came her way, when one soon came her way when, quite accidentally, she found herself involved in the bungalow mystery. And then, Miss Flora and Aunt Rosemary came down to meet her at the stairs after the police officers left so that they could talk. I can't tell you the rest of what they talked about, but there's always in the beginning of the book or during the book, if she needs advice from someone, from one of her past books, she'll be like, oh, hey, this person from, back whenever I was solving that mystery is in there. Or at the end of the books, it's always like, this one came up next. But it doesn't tell you what it's about. And so just keeps you wanting to keep going. I don't know what else to talk about this book without giving anything away. So I think this is going to be a really short video, because it's Nancy Drew. I don't know what else to talk about. Okay, so that is all. So if you liked this video, give me a thumbs up and comment below. Have you read this book? No, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Okay. Have you read this book? Who was your favorite character in this book? I kind of liked the old ladies too. And yeah. Comment below also. I'm starting to think about my 2027. Oh my gosh. I'm starting to think about the 2027 reading challenges, and I am always up for recommendations for books for those. So if you want to drop some of those down in my comment section, you can do that. I am working on a lot of things. Got this video I need to edit. I have a Summerween video that I need to edit, some recommendations that I have read. And I have my July TBR to make. And I am going to be working on some paper pie videos for your kids, because I got lots of those books. And I might do a few different homeschool videos on the stuff that I'm using and why I'm using it. So maybe I can help other people. And yeah, if you ever have any suggestions for videos that I should do, you're always welcome to leave them in the comment section. But I'm just here. Subscribe. If you're not sure if you want to subscribe, you can click my face bubble and it'll take you to my channel. And you can check out some of my other videos and see if I'm someone that you might want to watch. And share this video, because sharing is caring. And someone else might need to know about these Nancy Drew books. And yeah, my kid liked it. It didn't keep her attention the way some of the younger, like more flashy books do, but Nancy Drew. I will see you on my next video. Bye!